Dude with Attitude Podcast. Hey everybody, it's the Dudes with Attitude Podcast. That's right, your favorite collective of wrestling boomers are back and reliving the greatest era in professional wrestling, the WWF Attitude Era. I'm your host, the good Dr. Legend, joined as always with my esteemed colleagues, the magnificent Brett Evers.
Oh, we got one more up in the pal heaven, and that's the Iron Sheiky, baby. Rest in power, buddy.
The Supreme Submission Machine, Angelo.
The Iron Sheik, he go up to the heavens. He look for Ultimate Warrior. He break his back, make him humble.
Yes, sadly, that's not the only tragic passing we have to share this week, guys, because the Galeberg streak has ended once again. Unfortunately,
Womp womp.
during our hiatus, I know which has been a while, he fell ill again and had to be hospitalized. So he's still recovering from that. So Weasel, we wish you the best, buddy. Hope you recover quickly. Bring you back on the show because our pay-per-view is next. But also, if you guys in the wrestling world have probably heard, Iron Sheik has passed away. Probably one of the most legendary figures in wrestling after his career versus in his career. I mean, former WWF champion, won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 1. Very renowned figure all the way through, I think, WrestleMania 7. Was he was behind Sergeant Slaughter at 7, right?
Yeah.
Adnan came in. Adnan was
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam 91, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when they came in. So yeah, Iron Sheik has passed away. Most famously for utilizing the term jabroni backstage, which The Rock had asked permission if he could use it on screen. A lot of people don't know that. They thought Rock came up with that term. No, that's a Sheiky baby term. And speaking of jabronis, guys, I think because we were all fans of the Sheiky baby, yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think from here on out, to honor the man, the myth, and the legend, we should have a Jabroni of the Show award where we give the whoever had the worst performance or acted like a douchebag or just someone we were a fan of this episode be our Jabroni of the Show.
Send Iron Sheik to break his back.
We talk about Bret Hart living the work. We talk about Scott Hall living the work. This guy's life was a work. Like, I don't think he ever I don't think he was a character ever. I think he just portrayed himself on TV.
Well, you know,
He was just himself, yeah.
The guys who managed his Twitter, if you've seen the Sheik's documentary, the guys who managed his Twitter say most of his tweets are verbatim. And then you have like The Rock going. The Rock said that the Sheik's Twitter was his favorite because he'd be like, oh, he'd be calling people Tic Tac Dick and all these different things.
I just like how when they ask him a question, he looks like, oh, this guy, I'm gonna kick his ass, and it's like he sounds like one of our uncles, doesn't he, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Sheik reminds me of all of my Arab uncles, who's just this funny, angry guy. And the greatest part about the Sheik is everybody pretty much loved him. Like, you see the Iron Sheik, and you see him, you put a microphone in front of him, you know you're gonna be entertained, you know you're gonna laugh. So we're gonna miss him, but he lives on. We get to watch all of his his Hall of Fame speech, by far one of the best Hall of Fame.
No one got himself more over at a Hall of Fame speech than Iron Sheik.
That and the MySpace video of him calling Brian Blair, going after Brian Blair, those two things turned him into an absolute god.
Oh yeah, we'll miss you, Sheiky baby. Thank you for the memories. I'll continue to live on and always laugh about it. Still to this day, whenever I need a good laugh, I look up the Marty Jannetty Sheik stories, and
no,
a great big smile. If you guys haven't seen them, just Google Marty Jannetty Iron Sheik stories. Two of the best wrestling stories you'll ever hear. Probably the two best wrestling stories of all time, I think.
Yeah, the greatest story, and what's his face? Michael Hayes told the story, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Sheik, we got your test results, and They're positive for cocaine. Yes. It's positive.
Though-
David.
it's a very close tie. Those are some of my favorite sports stories, right next to the Mark Grace Cincinnati Reds fireworks story.
Oh yes.
Oh, that is the classic story. Those are great. Okay, but guys, I know we've been on a big hiatus. A lot of stuff has happened. We're boomers. Things impacted our lives. Sadly, we had a death in my family, which postponed things a bit. Brett himself had a few things going on in his life, and not like we didn't want to do it. We love doing this show. I love hanging out with my boys again. It's like old times, but that's what happens when you get old, guys. So if you're young wrestling fans living it up on summer vacation right now, enjoy these days.
Man, those were the days.
As
were the days.
Andy Bernard so eloquently put it, I wish I knew I was in the good old days before I left them. And honestly, nothing ever has rung truer for me. So we're back, and my boomer memory has slipped me because I can't remember shit what happened on last week's Raw.
I guess we'll have to cut with the flashbacks, but you know what?
Hey,
Let's
for
just
once,
watch
the
show.
flashbacks will come in handy.
I hope the promos come in because this is the go home show. So if I'm a first time fan watching this show, this is the first wrestling episode I'm watching before a pay per view. How to sell me on the pay per view? What a great episode to try it on. Something fresh, and I have no memory of. So I'm super excited. You guys just want to get down dirty with it?
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, but gotta go tradition. What are y'all drinking?
So, I found out. This is why I have a glass. Shasta Cola now has 3 zero sugar sodas.
No.
3. Their version of Mountain Dew,
Ooh.
their orange cream sickle soda, and the best Shasta soda, and I will kill people and have Shiki come break your back if you disagree, which is the Tiki Punch.
Tiki Punch is fucking good.
Okay.
You know what?
This is the last of my orange cream, but I bought 2 of the Tiki Punches because I'm like, I know I'm going to want to do that one again. Right now, I can only find them in the 2 liters. I can't get, for whatever reason, I cannot find them in the 12 packs. They say they have them. And so here's the real kicker. I went to go buy them online through Shasta because it's like $6 or something for like a 24 pack. Shipping was $90.
Why? Why would you even consider
Because they ship it specifically through FedEx, and that's the rate. And I was like,
God damn.
You know what?
Nope.
I'm not.
It's like you're paying $6 for a 24 pack, but you're gonna pay another $80 to have it shipped. It's like not worth it.
I'm a huge fan of Mrs. Red's pies. Remember those pies from Stater Bro? Best snack pies ever. I love them. They don't sell them out anywhere outside of Southern California. One Yim Yam, they're 50 cents each, and they're still like they used to be a quarter. Now they're 50 cents. Some jackass on eBay is selling 3 of them. 1 flavor each, though. 3 of them for $20.
What?
I love those things. I'm not paying fucking $20 for 3 fucking pies, man.
I mean, no.
Well. All right, Angelo, what do you got?
I got really close though to doing that.
I have I'm boring today. I'm just going with my Coke Zero.
I'm the worst, guys. I have just my jug of water, guys.
Nothing wrong with that.
I am on a 24-hour water fast again today. I don't know if I let you guys know, but I have lost 50 pounds since my birthday.
Nice. I was going to say since the wedding, I've only lost 30 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, Brett, you're looking a little more svelte, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you start losing weight and can fit into clothes that you didn't realize you could fit into at one point.
Mm-hmm. No.
How did you lose 50 pounds in like 2 months?
So it was a combination of keto and intermittent fasting, and then I found this great thing called water fasting. So I would water fast I just drink tea. You know how I drink tea? Like I drink 8 cups. I drink about 2 gallons of tea a day. That's about 8 20 ounce cups of tea. And I drink a variety. I don't just drink black tea or green tea. I drink a variety of different teas. And I noticed at lunchtime I would drink these teas and I wouldn't be very hungry. So when I get my lunch out, like, yeah, I'd want to eat something, but like it wasn't starving or whatever. I said, okay, let me try doing this fast for a few days, and I was able to go 3 days pretty solid without eating. Those 3 days, I lost 7 pounds because there's a whole science behind it. You guys can Google it. It's called, autophagy or something like that, where your body starts to eat its own dead cells. It's actually fast. Water fasting is supposed to be ridiculously good as a cancer remedy because it helps eat the bad cells that cancer seeks out and latches onto, and yada yada yada. But anyways, that's how I did it, and I'm feeling fantastic about it. I'm hoping to reach my goal weight by Christmas, so we'll see. But either way, I'm feeling good. And anybody who wants to get on a diet journey, especially I know wrestling fans, so it's gonna be some of the bigger lot guys.
Honestly, we're notorious for that.
Go for it. Start your journey. It's there's so much great information out there, and you'll feel way better every day. I didn't know how shitty I felt until I started dieting and started realizing how good I felt. And I used to be very svelte. Like back in 2009 when I was training to be a wrestler, I was probably in the best shape of my life. I was probably around maybe 20% body fat, which doesn't say a lot because I've always been kind of big. But, for showing your six pack at 10% body fat, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, guys. Well, let's start the show. We have stuff talking and bragging around here. If you joined us on Peacock, we're going in 3, 2, 1.
I was about to say, we could always brag during the show.
Always. Yeah. I'll continue to brag.
And,
depends on who's wrestling.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
All right, come on, promo.
Cue me. Like the first wrestling I've seen since we had since the last time we podcast. Like I haven't been watching anything.
Bullshit. And, we don't get a promo.
Yeah, this week's episode for all you watching is May 25th, 1998.
Oh, what's the what do we got in the scorecard here as far as ratings?
Interesting enough, Raw and Nitro tied at a 4.2 on this week.
Oh, and this was a go home.
Wasn't Raw at a 4.5 last week that went unopposed against Nitro?
No, they were a 5.3 versus a 2.5 because Nitro was only like 40 minutes because of the NBA playoffs.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. God, 8.5 million people watching wrestling.
And to think this stuff used to get preempted all the time for other stuff.
No shit. They'd be like, this is more important. This is more important. Whatever. Fucking the Westminster Dog Show used to preempt Raw. I couldn't. Stupid. I would be so mad. I'm like, as much as I'm a WWF mark, but I love, wrestlers in WCW. I'd be like, I gotta watch fucking Nitro now.
Yeah. No,
look at this, a big arena today.
It's pretty packed.
Oh.
Where was the show at again?
I think they're gonna in a second.
Good sign. It is so weird seeing McMahon come out with no music or whatever. But you know what? I don't know if I'm in the minority here. I can't stand his theme.
I love it, dude.
That's part of the whole point of it is that you're not supposed to like.
But it's like
you're not supposed to like him.
It was a one-time thing. Like he said, "There's no chance in hell, Austin," and then he keeps coming out to that song, like even after Austin retired.
Yeah, it's his song.
He came out to that song when he was a face.
I just remember after, I know we're getting ahead here, but after that Rumble, when he comes out to that song, after the Rumble, all cheering and celebrating. I cannot wait for, that's like the one Raw I do, like, I remember that promo, where he's so good, he's like, and I'm not gonna compete, and then Shawn comes on with his Jack Daniels and Stone Cold, and that was good stuff.
God, remind me, Vince. What the fuck happened? Where's my promo?
Last Monday night on Raw, not only did Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson come out of retirement.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But indeed,
why is he wearing the fucking pajamas in the ring?
Because he's even at that point, was he able to his 50s, 60s?
I love how he's congratulating him in public. Look at those fucking signs. This freaking Slaughter heel.
Oh yeah, that's
turn.
what Slaughter turned heel. I forgot.
Oh god, it's not much of a detriment to the face community because he wasn't doing much on that end.
No.
That person drained the venom from the rattlesnake's poisonous head.
Oh, that's gotta be a Russo line right there. You're gonna say drain the venom from the rattlesnake.
The mask. What do you think's about gonna help you, Austin? Huh?
He's doing the Austin thing. I remember that.
It felt so good when I had that steel chair in my hand, and it struck.
He's wearing my favorite Austin shirt too.
Yeah.
I'm glad they still make those shirts. I think that's the best Austin shirt other than Austin 316.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and got away with it. It was indeed a very
That was good.
special night for me.
He is getting the heat. He is like building the audience up. Something bad's gonna happen to me, guys.
To the glory and the honor that will be ours this Sunday.
Have you ever seen bigger shit-eating grins on these guys? Look
No,
at
that's
them.
why they were the best.
Well, they know in
Look
6
at
days
that.
they're gonna get their
Look
asses
at
kicked.
Briscoe.
Yeah. Briscoe's just got this.
He's
He's
got like
he
he's
got it.
like visible pieces of shit in between his teeth, but like with that smile.
A new WWF champion.
What's your bronies from OVW or in the police officer's outfit?
Was OVW around back then?
No, I don't think so. I'm just making a shitty observation. Because there's
Was it USWA that was their
That's
territory
right.
at
It
that
was
time?
USWA.
It will be the dawning
I remember randomly watching USWA episodes on like ESPN sometimes or ESPN2, and like I was like, because me and I think it was like Christmas once, and me and my brother were like starved for wrestling. We're like, oh my god, bro, there's wrestling, and like it was a dingy arena. It was poorly produced. It looked like oh shit, party's over. Oh, did you guys watch the Candido Dark Side of the Ring episode?
Not
Not
yet. I don't
yet.
have Vice, so I don't know where to watch it.
I DVR'd it, but I've been waiting until I had the house to myself because the wife, for whatever reason, does not like the Dark Side of the Ring stuff. Like, it's just too dark for her. But
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
pretty
was
bad.
talking. It was funny. Last weekend we were at a dinner with her friends, and I don't know how it came up. Oh, because I was wearing my Nasty Boys T-shirt. And,
I got a hold up,
and
hold
one
up,
of the-
hold up, hold up, hold up. You wore a Nasty Boys t-shirt on a date with your wife's friends?
without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
That's
why
a
wouldn't I?
Chad fucking move right there. Of all the wrestlers you could wear,
It's
fucking
not like we
Nasty
were out
Boys.
in public because it was in the backyard in the garage of some friend's house.
Like, does the shirt say like Nasty Boys on it? Or does
Yeah,
it
it's like it's got both Knobs and Sags, says their names, says "Let's get nasty" in the corner, and it says the Nasty Boys.
That kills me because whoever doesn't know wrestling will be like, fucking pervert.
Anyways, back to the story. So one of the guys
Oh!
started talking about.
This is the episode. Oh shit!
Oh, Vince McMahon
I
wrestling.
forgot this is the episode. The figure of speech.
The figure of speech.
I'm Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Holy crap! Listen to that crowd. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is so good.
Brett, what's
Great.
that on the centimeter?
McMahon, that's definitely Flair dislocating his knee centimeter. I mean, look at the pain and the anguish on his face. That is absolutely a 10 plus 12.
I love that.
you
Since
don't
I
know
was
the-
assaulted, you arrest that jackass.
But if you ask me, wouldn't that be a obstruction of justice.
Oh!
He's gonna get them all arrested. The shit. Oh, look at his. Look on Briscoe's face.
You said you weren't a stooge. How do you feel now, you silly bastard? You didn't suck. Who sucks now, you little bastard? I got one last thing for
I was wondering when this episode was coming because I love this moment. This is a moment that no one talks about.
Well, they will be now, thanks to us.
I want these 3 pieces of trash taken back in a squad car and locked up, and I don't want them released because Stone Cold said so, and that's basically, Vince, all I got to say to you.
Oh, shit!
Oh, he hit him in the face with that can.
Though I know this is a work and it's not supposed to be a shoot or anything like that. We're talking legality here. Austin did technically commit assault for hitting Vince while he was acting.
Yeah,
It's true.
Just saying. I apologize, Brett. Please continue with your Nasty Boy story. I was very entertained.
Technicalities.
Yeah.
Technicalities. So then one of the guys, Taylor's like, "Oh, do you watch those Dark Side of the Rings?" Oh no, sorry, I have to back up. Her other friend who was in town from Seattle, she's like, "I really need a show to watch." Da da da. And
So
from the
you
corner,
said Dark Side of the Ring.
yes, because let
What?
me get to that. So
You
she was
monster!
asking, yeah, because she was asking about like documentary stuff like this, and then the guy in the corner says, "Well, hey, have you seen that dark side of the Dark Side series?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I love that series." And my wife chimes in and is like, he watches it all the time." And then everyone else apparently watches all the other guys were watching this Dark Side. She's like, and then her friend's like, "Well, what's that?" And so then we explained how Dark Side of the Ring is like, it's not just the wrestling, it's all the stuff, dark stuff. She was like, "Ooh." My wife was just like, "You are not gonna get one of my good friends to watch Dark Side." I'm like, she watches it. But yeah, then the other guys are like, "Yeah, there's the Tito Bravo episode and the Gino Hernandez episode and the Bruiser Brody episode." And I'm like, and then my wife was like, "Yeah, the Bruiser Brody episode is really dark."
And that one's probably one of the worst ones, besides maybe the Benoit one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Benoit is the worst, but
there's
Dino
a few
Bravo's
that are
kinda
really
sad
rough
too.
Yeah, Dino Bravo's
But-
sad.
Brody's story's the worst. Like, fucking murdered in a locker room and not even a fucking arrest.
And nothing, just they let it happen.
And poor Tony Atlas was like, I'm not with him. Get on a fucking plane and go back to America.
I mean, I don't blame Tony Atlas for.
God, the racists are out again.
At the same time, Tony Atlas is the only one who is probably telling the truth.
Right. Well, that's why I like the Dark Side of the Ring shows, because they're not WWE produced. So you know
Yeah.
they're not going to put the WWE spin on them. I love WWE's docs, but you know they always are twisted. Because I always hear multiple stories about how certain things happen, and they twist, they convolute things, and they hide stuff and whatever.
Like the Road Warriors Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way darker than... I mean, I know Animal will probably tell you the full story if he could, but they probably cut a bunch of shit out.
Oh no, Animal was still alive when they did that episode.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was still alive.
Well, I
so
mean,
he's
no,
in it.
I mean the old LOD documentary, the Road Warriors one. Actually,
yeah.
that was the first DVD I bought when I was getting back into wrestling. So I remember going into Best Buy on a Tuesday afternoon when they have the new releases on DVD and stuff. And I saw it there. I said, "Oh my, Road Warriors! They're my favorite tag team of all time. Yes, I will buy the shit out of this."
That's what got me back into wrestling, was the wrestling DVD section at Best Buy, because I saw Rise and Fall of ECW. Wow, I want to see this.
Oh,
it's
shit!
Puke.
It's Puke's debut.
Oh, is this when they introduced him?
Yeah, I feel bad for this guy.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. That's all I ever remember.
I heard backstage he's kind of a coward. People say he lacks a spine.
Oh,
I'm sorry. But poor, no, I feel bad for Draws. I mean, they had high hopes for him, and that that whole clip of him in Beyond the Mat was bullshit. All that stuff with him and Vince Miller, that was pre-recorded. That was recorded, like that was scripted.
For him to come in and shake his hand.
Yeah,
and
do all
that.
the stuff with Vince. Yeah, that was scripted. They had closed the deal. They had done all that stuff, and they had, cleared the thing out, weeks prior. So they said, "Hey, can we go back and refilm it and reenact everything you did, or whatever?" Like, yeah, sure we can. It's like, I have no problems promoting my wrestlers or whatever. And I think for some reason, whatever, he couldn't actually puke. What? He's like, God, Vince is such a fucking circus act. He hires a guy. Okay, give him Draws credit. He's an actual football player. Okay, he's a tough guy. But the reason why he hired him is because he could puke on command, allegedly. What good? That's a gross. Like, that's boogeyman level shtick right here. Like worms in the mouth that no one wants to see, or that's not going to get you over anywhere.
Yeah, it's just one of those like gimmicks, like sideshow. Like, oh, he can puke. That's why we're gonna put him in.
Never get past lower mid card with that gimmick. I'm sorry.
He was a member of the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, because they're trying to get him over. So let's put him with our most over tag team.
So was Heidenreich.
And Crush. Well, no,
God.
Crush was.
You know what?
Crush was a demolition, but.
Okay, so I listened to a shoot interview with both Bill Eadie and Barry Darsow about Crush, and they actually they had to bring in Crush because Eadie was retiring.
Yeah.
You hear about Eadie and his shrimp or his fish allergy or whatever?
Yeah, it was supposedly a heart issue, and then he found out he had a seafood allergy.
It was Mr. Fuji's fault.
Oh.
Because Fuji kept taking them to Chinese restaurants all the time when they were tag team, and when they went to Japan, Bill, the only thing Edie liked to eat was sushi. So he basically ingested so much fish and mercury or whatever, he basically gave himself a shrimp allergy that almost killed him. So they needed to, and you guys know that Edie is 20 years older than Darsow.
I knew he was a lot older.
He's old, but I didn't know he was that much older.
Darsow was 26 years old when he started at Demolition. Edie was 44.
Ooh.
So they needed to phase Edie out. And I call him his fucking Demolition Axe. Cool. What a cool name, Axe, as a wrestler. They had to phase Axe out. They need to bring Crush in. The issue was they never gave Crush enough time. They basically put him in the team and they said, okay, he'll learn the ropes with the other members of Demolition. And he was still green as grass and didn't have all the they were trying to work with him. And Darsow and Edie loved Crush. They said he was a good kid. He wanted to work. He wanted to learn, and he was always receptive to us. The problem was they put him in too early, and they were hoping that Axe and Smash could cover for him in that ring and cover for his mishaps and mistakes. The problem is, I mean, Crush had a great figure, great physique, was big, and probably Crush. What a great Demolition name as well. Problem is, Demolition were kind of a relics of the past, and after LOD buried, no one, who wanted to see a team that gets beat all the time? So you're not going to resurrect Crush's career in a defunct, dead tag team.
Yeah, the Demolition was basically an LOD clone. It was Vince's answer to the Road Warriors, but the thing was, the Road Warriors were a little bit more believable. I mean,
what? I don't buy that Demolition was an LOD clone. The Powers of Pain were more of an LOD clone than Demolition. I think he wanted to do something like the Demolition, like LOD, but a little different.
Probably. I mean, he put two technical wrestlers in, and then kind of changed their. Oh wow, he gets the pin. But he basically made technical wrestlers into powerhouses. But you have to understand, Axe and Smash are much smaller than LOD too. Like both those guys are 6'3", 6'4". Darsow's 6 feet. Edie's I think 6'1". But still, they just look bigger. They're just they just look smaller.
I don't know if you guys know this, but if you search Demolition on Peacock, there is a Demolition cassette tape where you can watch some of their featured matches and stuff like that. And they do little promos before each match and stuff. So I really wanted to listen to their theme song one day. So I said, just put this on and listen to them talk. And I was like, you know what? I got a pretty good education on how Demolition works and wrestles.
Hey, bro, remember that tape we used to rent, Bashed in the USA?
No.
It's on Peacock. We used to rent. Remember those tapes they used to make, like Bashed in the USA and Winter Combat and all these like compilation tapes that we used to rent all the time? They're all on Peacock.
Bashed in the USA.
There's a lot of those on Peacock now.
Oh god, oh my god, yes. Now I remember this.
You remember now.
I remember this. The 40-man battle royal, Perfect and Razor. Oh my god. Well, because like, you know, back in the day when you wanted, like, man, you guys are all fucking spoiled. You got wrestling on demand. You can click and get it. We had to go to the damn video store and hope and pray the fucking show we wanted to see was not rented.
Yeah,
because they only had one tape.
Or yeah, if it was even there, if they even had it.
I remember. Go ahead, bro.
When me and you were growing up, bro, in the early 90s, Victorville was not a big town. So when we remember that one time we went to our cousin's house in Cerritos in the LA area, and their Blockbuster was like 10 times bigger and had 10 times the wrestling tapes. I mean, we were like, they have so much wrestling. And we had like a small wrestling section in Victorville. So you guys are spoiled. The fact that, you know, I literally can pull up every wrestling match ever done in my fucking phone, and we're begging that the tapes at fucking Blockbuster.
Right. Oh god. Man, I mean, but those were the days, because like when you were like really like, ooh, I can only watch one this weekend. What tape am I gonna watch to get some wrestling in? We were feeling nostalgic. We'd get some classic WrestleManias. If we wanted to watch something newer, we'd go into like the Survivor Series kind of section and whatnot.
Well, that's what we had to do, because wrestling was only on Monday nights or on the weekends if there was a pay-per-view. If there wasn't a pay-per-view all weekend long, we needed to watch wrestling, so we had to rent a tape.
I remember watching.
I used to just rent. I would always rent something new, something from the 90s and something from the 80s. I would always be able to rent 3.
I think I remember one time we were at Aunt Mary's house, and they had we went to the video store and they had finally Survivor Series 89. And we were dying to see Survivor Series 80 because we hadn't seen it. And we're like, oh my god, fucking Hulk's team. What a team that guy had. He had Demolition and Jake the Snake. You want to talk about a who's who of a Survivor Series team? Fucking hell.
Well, we were on a kick where we were trying to watch every pay-per-view ever, basically, at the time. Right? We were looking for every one, and we couldn't get Survivor Series 89. And when they had it, we begged our cousin to let us rent it, and he did. And we actually finally got to watch it at our cousin's house.
Yeah. Oh man, I still remember that. I love that show. Great show. I give Road Dogg shit for wearing a shirt to the ring. Severn should not be in a fucking shirt. He is in so much.
I think he's taking it off.
Fair. He takes it off when he competes.
Well, except later on, he keeps it on. But I don't know if it's because he's gaining weight or. Oh, they finally kicked Cornette out of the. This is a weird. They're two heels. Why are we watching two heels wrestle?
Because he turned on Cornette, so he's supposed to be a face now.
They're trying to push him as a face. But this is weird. So Owen is trying to get himself pushed as a credible heel after he wrecked fucking Shamrock last week. It's the fucking best move. Like, if he actually locks it in, if you lock that move in, like, you break somebody's arm. There's no... Who doesn't tap from that? Remember that jobber from WCW, the Army guy, used to use that, the Code Red?
Code Red, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that's how he first saw it, and we used to put it on each, because we used to put it on each other real. And I'm like, ah! Oh my god, it hurt. And I was like, no more Code Reds. Oh, yeah. No one would want to take that move. Oh, shit. Go for it. Go for it. Oh, fuck. I thought he was going to go for the Enziguri, but... I had no idea Cole was doing color.
He does it like on and off throughout the year.
I forget he's usually the first one, but sometimes Cornette would take over.
This should be a really good match because you've got two really good mat wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah, Severn's still like green in the wrestling.
He hasn't
Wasn't he the NWA heavyweight title holder?
He still has it. He wore it to the ring
I
right
mean,
now.
he is, but we've very much made it clear that NWA champions in WWE don't mean shit.
Yeah.
NWA was dead in like '88 or something like that.
It
No, it was
basically
dead when
right after Crockett went independent.
Yeah, it was whenever Crockett went independent. That's right. When WCW came out with their fucking gorgeous belt, and then Flair stole it, went to WWF, and they had to make a fucking share that shitty WCW belt they had for that time.
Yeah,
Why
it was
did
a
they just
tag
make
belt.
a copy of the other belt and be like, "Here, okay, here's a good belt"? No, fucking.
They didn't have any money. Well, the funny part is when Ric Flair came back, they had to call his big gold belt the WCW International World Heavyweight title. Like, International World Heavyweight title. What the fuck?
Speaking of fucking titles, what the fuck was Triple H thinking trying to put WWE's logo on the big gold belt and a new fucking belt of his? What garbage.
It's you know what, I hate to say it, it's like the other things they've done. It is starting to grow on me, but it's still uglyish. Just ugly. It is ugly. Now that undisputed belt that they gave Roman, that one's a little bit better. Gorgeous. I like that one with the solid gold in the back. And it just says undisputed champion at the bottom.
Well, I'm guessing, are they just merging?
Fucking hell.
So, are they merging the Universal title and the WWE title now? Is it 100% merged for good?
It's 100% merged now.
Oh shit, we're about to have
at least that at the old world title and Universal title are now merged as the undisputed Universal Championship. But the belt just says undisputed champion. It doesn't say Universal anymore on the belt.
Oh, I see.
So on the bottom it says undisputed champion. And then the World Championship is the World Championship. That's why a lot of people are saying like this World Championship is a level below Roman's belt, because Roman is technically the undisputed champion. So whoever has that belt is the undisputed champion of the company.
But the thing is, why create a brand new belt from scratch? Like, it makes no sense. Like, I just don't understand.
They're selling toys, man. They're trying to sell toys.
I get it, but
I mean, the kayfabe reasoning is that World Championship is supposed to be like a TV title in a way. Like, it's supposed to be defended all the time, nonstop, everywhere.
They need to
At least that's the kayfabe reasoning they're giving.
They need to rebuild their fucking tag division, not build new belts.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem, is now you have undisputed tag champs too. Like, are you going to keep doing it that?
Yeah, because they have the two belts, right? And now Zayn and KO have the undisputed tag belts. But see, if you guys try to retrace WWE's tag team title belt history, it's a fucking mess.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Because the
roster split. Yeah, the roster split ruined like the title history, because there wasn't. At some point when they got rid of the world title, because the Raw title used to be the World Tag Team Championship, that still drew its lineage, down in time. But then when they got rid of it and just made them all, made them the Raw and the SmackDown, that really convoluted the tag team lineage.
Yeah, it's all fucked off because they called it the World Tag Titles and the WWE Tag Team Titles, even though the World Tag Titles had the lineage of the original WWE Tag Team Titles. So it's like, god damn, it's just who the fuck keeps track of all this shit,
They're hoping that nobody does, so they make it so it's like fucking CDOs and synthetic CDOs.
Yes.
Big Short. We're hoping nobody can keep track of it. Oh no!
Peter Dinklage?
The oddities. That is Dinklage.
Wow.
Oh my god! Oh my god, this guy, poor guy, is struggling for work so hard.
Is that really Dinklage? I was just making a joke.
No, that's Peter Dinklage. Look at him.
Is that really him?
That's him.
I don't know if that's actually him.
That's him. I promise you that's him. You got the fucking carnival theme song now. Look at close. Look at him close. Google it, fucking fun fact finder.
I'm googling it right now.
Because if it's not Dinklage, it's his twin brother.
I mean, I mean, they're similar, but
Crackhead Bob.
I'm not positive it's Dinklage. Crackhead Bob.
I think they got a legit crackhead because the way he's walking around here.
These two human oddities I have rented from the Howard Stern radio show.
The Howard Stern radio show.
So it must be Dinklage.
To my right, I'd like to introduce my friend Hank, who you people have labeled an angry, drunken dwarf.
I don't think that's actually Dinklage.
No, now that I see him in the front, his brow is too deep.
In mocking fashion, I might add, by People Magazine Online as the world's most beautiful human being.
I'm not finding anything on him on the internet.
And Hank,
Oh yeah, okay, it's not Dinklage. I apologize. But he looked pretty close.
So I'll say Peter's teeth are pretty perfect. That's definitely not him.
People are using my name on the online now. And it's
On the online now.
very good. Okay. Thank you, Hank. Man.
On the online now. I'm gonna say that. They're talking about me on the online now.
Have labeled Crackhead Bob.
Crackhead
Not a
Bob.
pop, Crackhead Bob.
Life revolved around where he was going to get his next fix and how much it was going to cost him. Well, let me be the one to tell you, it cost him brain cells and it cost him self-respect.
The same thing for any other New Age Outlaw fan.
Oh.
I wish David was here for that one.
I know that you've had a hard life.
Amazing to think that Don Callis actually used to have a bunch of hair.
What the fuck? So he had a dot when he was managing the Truth Commission. And now he's got a gold little dot in his forehead?
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade has more than two oddities in it. At this time, let me introduce to you from the gallery of the grotesque, the Jackals Parade of Human Oddities continues with the prom princess.
Tenta! Earthquake! I can't believe he signed up for this. Like, I mean, I guess it was good money.
It's the Attitude Era.
He's probably making at least $1,000 a night or something like that. I mean, wouldn't you guys want to work for that?
Sure.
He looks thin though.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
Did you guys see Earthquake's last WWE match?
No, which was it? The one in '94?
It was a it was a SmackDown taping in 2001. He was in a dark match before the show. If you guys Google it, you can find it. He wrestles some. I won't say his job. I guess it's some up and coming talent or whatever, and he wrestles them or whatever. It's a monster pop. Like the good thing about the Attitude Era was not only was the wrestling audience swelled, but it was filled with the the true fans who cared about the product and respected the old guys and wanted to see them. If these motherfuckers could get Hardcore Holly over to the point where the fans are screaming on him, they could get anybody over. Anybody could make it the Attitude Era.
I'm watching it right now, and he gets a blasting pop on fucking. If he wrestles John Tank Maloki.
Oh, it's the Thrashers.
The Thrashers. I just found out these guys are here to stay for the rest of the fucking year.
Oh no.
Oh.
We do not escape these clowns. Are they trying to be like heels or something here?
They're laughing at him.
Oh shit. Let's see if I wonder what his finisher is. I don't remember what Golga's finisher is.
I just liked it when he would have the Cartman doll, the Cartman thing.
Yeah.
God, he was so over for that thing.
I would have never known that was Earthquake.
No, until I was like on the internet and I heard that was Earthquake. I was like, what? I was like, Jesus Christ, just bring Earthquake back. The guy can work. He was over.
Maybe Earthquake gimmick didn't fit in with the Attitude Era.
That's kind of true. Yeah. What do you do? I'm a big fat guy that sits on people. Get out of here.
Actually, that would have gotten over in the Attitude Era.
Get out of here, Booger. We fired you months ago. My brother was a Bastion Booger fan. His silence means he's not denying it either. He just liked his finisher. And why? Because he liked doing his finisher on me. Because he would like to try to fart after doing fucking... There's a great episode of Raw where Marty Jannetty is fighting Bastion Booger. And you remember Bastion Booger, Brett, right?
Oh, yeah.
He wins with the sunset flip. And so he flips over Bastion Booger. And he is so disgusted by Booger's fucking thigh fat and hairiness or whatever. He actually turns away during the sunset flip, like presumably like to hold a gag reflex because it's so disgusting.
Oh, Bastion Booger.
Cranial facial disorder? Where did this guy come up with stuff? He got like Bob Backlund's dictionary for fucking working a mic. I used to love Backlund. He'd say, "I'm gonna procure the chicken wing on him." You're gonna order the chicken wing on him? He's moving so good for his size.
Yeah.
I remember Earthquake was such a slow kind of worker, even though he could move and do some stuff. But like his gimmick was he was slow.
I guess not Golden's.
In fact, I've been aware now that I'm under the corporate doghouse, and that's why I'm back on Raw where I belong.
Jesus.
Is a huge individual. And watch this.
There's the classic Earthquake Power Slam. That's it?
Wow.
There's your fucking how big of your jobbers that fucking Thrashers are.
Can you even get any offense in?
I don't, other than the mocking tone or whatever, but...
Hey, is that the Giant Gonzalez?
No, God, no. Gonzalez's knees were fucking gone, dude. I heard, like, his knees were so bad that he could barely move. And then when, like, WWE hired him, they were like, oh, yeah, we'll hire him or whatever. He's great. He's a big talent. We'll feed him with The Undertaker. And we're like, this guy can't work at all. Taker can't have a match with him. Like, he can barely go to the ground because his knees... If he goes to the ground enough times, he's not going to be able to pick himself back up.
I thought he was better as El Gigante anyways.
God, he was... I remember seeing him in WCW, like, before, like old tapes of him. I'm like, what the fuck, this guy? He was smiling and having a good time or whatever. And he was part of Sting's... He was part of Sting's War Games team, the dudes with attitudes. How are they over? What the hell? Oh, it's Al Snow! Al Snow snuck in there!
Al Snow.
It's been fucking half an hour and they got him in this goddamn cab still?
Austin playing a game of cat and mouse apparently with Mr. McMahon and his friends. What's going to happen to the owner next?
It flipped him off again.
Well, now that answers my question. I guess it's a pre-taped show. Oh God, remember those things, guys?
Yeah.
You know the have you guys used the gel blaster guns or seen those guns before?
No.
I've seen them, but I haven't
Those
used
things
them.
are awesome. Okay, if you're gonna do something with your kids in the backyard, bro, forget paintball. Get these gel blaster things. They are balls that you soak in water for a bit, and then they like triple in size, and you put them in these guns and you shoot them. the best part, every part of them is instantly biodegradable, so there's no mess left over.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah,
what are they made out of?
Some kind of like synthetic like plastic, but it basically after it basically after being in contact with water for a bit, it just goes away.
Good to know. I'll go get one and start shooting all the kids in the neighborhood.
Best part, no evidence.
And when the parents come to me, I'm like, it's okay. It'll come out in the wash. Oh, that sounds
Good
awesome.
God, how much money do they spend on this jabroni? This is my pick for jabroni of the fucking night award. Look at the money this guy gets on. Not just a pyro, a custom-made sparkler rig with his initials on them.
You know what the
This
kicker
is like-
is? He's a Hall of Famer.
That's for sure.
Jesus, I don't know how. Oh, did you hear this asshole try to trademark the word heat?
Yes.
Of all the people in wrestling, this guy is not it. This is the last person I think about when I think about heat. They used to call Hall and Nash the heat-seeking missiles for how much heat those jackasses used to get. Did you hear that the beer story with those guys?
The 6-pack story.
Yeah, the 6-pack story where they were going like, oh, it's just all right. They knew they had some heat on them, so they said, okay, we should just tone down the drinking a bit. All right, we'll go before the show, pick up a 6-pack, and then Hall's like, well, each, right? And he goes, okay, each, all right. So they get the 6-pack, they start drinking, and they hear Bischoff sees them with the 6-packs, and he's hunting them down in the trailer looking for them. So they go run off to Hogan's trailer, and he's in there with Macho, and they give him a beer each. And he goes in there and he sees all of them drinking together. He goes, "You gonna fire Hogan? You gonna fire Mach? We're all drinking together."
Actually, it's a little bit more detailed with the beer, where they go, "Okay, man, why don't we all get a 24-ounce beer?" And it goes, "Why don't we just get a 6-pack of 24s?" Okay, fine, 6-pack of 24s. Well, each, right? 6-pack of 24s each, right?
There's how fucking Hall had a problem, and I had no idea. Like, I had really no idea he had these. I remember being very annoyed with the early NWO era Nitros because I wanted to see Hall, Nash, and Hogan wrestle. Like, I love their characters. I just wanted to see them work in the ring, and they never did. It was so rare. I remember, I think I saw it one time on WCW Saturday Night when they had those NWO black and white matches against jobbers. That we saw Hall wrestle, and he finally did the fucking outsider edge to a jobber. I'm like, oh, thank you. A little bit of wrestling here.
Well, the Outsiders worked a lot from like 96 to 97 because they were the tag champs. So they actually did work a little bit, not a lot. But after like 98, it was basically like, oh, run-ins, or maybe Nash would tag up with Savage every month or so. Like they were stealing money at that point.
Well, yeah, because they had the best deal going in WCW. Hey, you pay us, and if anybody gets paid more than us, we get paid that same rate.
Yeah, the favored nations clause. and that's the reason why they wanted Brett so bad, because they're like, Brett's going to get $3 million a year, and he's number one on our favored nations clause. I think one time Nash said that his favored nations was Hart, Shawn, Diesel, Hart, Shawn, Undertaker. I can't remember who the other ones were, but the big three from WWF, they were on there. So they were like trying to get him to come over, like, come on, get over here, get some money.
What do you guys take to the rumors that Shawn was the supposed third man?
No, Bischoff has stated that the first guy was supposed to be Sting. And Sting was a backup up until the day of the show.
So I love it because, like, we didn't even know Hogan was going to do it because, like, I didn't understand at the time until I saw it how big of a like how dangerous that decision was. The fans you've never seen that before. They filled that ring with garbage because they were so angry. So angry.
face, Hogan's face when he was about to do it, like he was looking around like, holy shit, man. Like, here goes nothing.
I can imagine his heart racing, like, I'm about to turn fucking heel here. And nobody saw it coming. Like, this is how big it was back in the day. It was probably the most obvious thing you could do, like, to help rejuvenate Hulk's career.
Well, Bischoff came to his house and told him, hey, I'd like to turn you heel. And Hogan's sitting there like this, and he goes, brother, I gotta pick up the kids from school. Thanks for stopping by. By the way, you'll never know my character until you walk a mile in my yellow boots.
I'm so mad that the Hulk documentary hasn't even begun filming yet.
They're filming a WWE documentary, or
No. This is a Netflix produced documentary. Chris Hemsworth is penned as
I thought it
star,
got
so-
like, I thought it was like canned.
No, it just got put on the back burner. I guess COVID pushed it back, and now people, as things are coming back, they're taking, actors and people are taking other projects. But Chris Hemsworth said he's still super on, like he really wants to do it. And
So yeah, because he'd be Hogan.
yeah, well, no, because I forget some big wig director's directing it. Let me see.
I'm Googling it right now to see what's the status of the movie.
Weren't they also going to do a McMahon one too? They got canned
For who?
for McMahon. Vince.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Todd Phillips is directing it.
Not waiting until Over the Edge this Sunday on pay-per-view. Kane is assaulting the Mastodon. Kane, the 7-footer, 350-pounder, just hammering away now on Vader. Vader at 400 pounds.
Jesus,
Look at this slam.
Hemsworth got jacked for this role.
Vader been taken right out of his game. And Roger
The one I'm looking forward to is the Von Erich one they're doing.
They're doing a Von Erich documentary?
Yeah, they are. They
Yeah,
are.
Zac Efron is actually going to be Carrie Von Erich, the
Oh
movie.
my god, that's gonna be awesome.
And I saw the photos of him, and he got jacked for the role.
I hope they start doing there's some great wrestling stories that would make for fantastic movies.
only person here.
Yeah, it's called The Iron Claw, the Von Erich biopic.
If you can believe that.
Yeah.
Is that currently filming, or is it just in the planning
It
stages,
wa-
or what's going on?
No, it was filming. Like, I think they've... I don't know if they're in post-production right now.
It started filming in October of 2022, and guess what? MJF is playing Lance Von Erich.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And that's why he was off TV. That was part of the reason why he was off TV for that stretch.
This asshole.
You gonna do it or what?
Go on, Mr. McMahon.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I apologize to the former WWF champion. Now unhandcuff me.
That's not how you accept that. There you go, step it. Take his ass to jail. If he ain't gonna apologize to me, take his ass to jail.
No. Let me try it again. Let me try it again.
Be nice.
Be nice.
I apologize.
It's my new favorite quote of the show. Be nice.
I accept his apology. He's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
I'm hoping that he uncuffs him, then he turns around and stuns him.
You're not gonna stun him on the fucking concrete.
I mean, it would be great TV if he did.
You need the impact with the stunner. Oh shit.
Oh,
The McMahon cowl. Oh wow, first hour's over already?
Yeah.
Shit, did we
quick.
get... I guess we got two... We got one real finish to a match?
two.
Yeah, two
Two.
finishes.
Two finishes.
Well,
We
oh,
had
that's right, Golga
Braz
and the
and
draws.
Golga.
Yeah.
But we only had, like, what, 3 matches in that first hour?
A very quick first hour. A lot of, I mean, they're really kind of hype up this pay-per-view and sell it.
I do like that they're like talking over the intro.
Yeah, that's actually cool for me. So they're just having this discussion because I don't like the second intro, the second hour intro. I just wish, I mean, you've seen it.
They
so many
eventually
times.
get rid of it, don't they?
I don't remember. It's been so long. Like
They have to split the show into hour increments because of the way the ratings work. So, but now they I think they stopped the intro in like 99, 2000. Oh, here comes.
disheveled. Can you imagine having to sit right now, like Vince is, covered in fucking beer? How nasty that might be.
No,
so
it's not. No, not.
gross.
It's not fun.
That must stink right now, and he's been sweating.
It's okay. In a couple of months, he'll be doused again.
I will say this: one of my gripes with the Attitude Era, I never got or enjoyed the idea of how many times they smashed cars. Like, okay, the first time, awesome, but then that's just the fucking idea. Now we're just gonna break cars now. Oh, he's so upset. His car has been broken. Like, it's probably a fucking rental that he has insurance on. That he's not gonna care too much about.
You know, the funny thing is the whole reason I get the insurance on rental cars is because of wrestling.
So I asked the rental car company when they tried to sell me the insurance, and I'll never forget the look on this girl's face, because I was like, she goes, "Are you gonna get the rental insurance? It's full coverage no matter what you do to the car, covered bumper to bumper." I'm like, "Really?" And she goes, "So if I take this car, drive it off-roading, flip it 4 or 5, 6 different times, and bring it back to you, I'm covered." And she goes, "Well, yes, you would be. Okay, so if I take this car and drive it into your building, I would be covered." And I'm like, and she's like, well, yeah, and it would pay for all the damages to your place, right?" And she's like, and I was like, "Yes." And then after that, I was like, you know what? I think I'll pass. And I don't think she's been more relieved to not sell somebody insurance. So if you guys don't want to get hammered on that, ask that question and just be really enthusiastic about it. And end it with, "If I drive my car into your building." Like,
WWF superstar that will stop me from what I am going to do this Sunday. Not one.
does Undertaker not have a match?
So Austin,
Does he? What's the? Can any of you guys remember what the card is? I know we have supposed to have a 6-man tag against the Nation.
Nation and DX.
Yeah. I don't. Other than I don't remember any fucking matches. This is bad. This is your go home show. You're supposed to remind me who's on the card.
one-on-one here
What?
tonight in this very ring with the Undertaker. You gotta be kidding me.
Vince saying "in this very ring" is one of my favorite things he says.
You'll hear everyone say that. Sable started saying that. I was so tired of that cliche.
But I love when Vince says it. Vince says it. That's to me. That's the person who says it. You know,
He has like the proper cadence when he does it.
Oh my fucking god! How did these idiots get over?
Why is Road Dogg wearing his title, but Billy is not?
Because he's a fucking mark. He's trying to sell himself.
From Winston Churchill, we shall fight with great confidence and brave strength in the air.
See, this is like, I don't hate the New Age Outlaws for no reason, okay? They don't work good. They never wrestle all the time. They're the champions, so they should be defending these titles and proving themselves as the best. That means you're the best tag team in the world. And they're not. They're not even fucking close. They're not even the best tag team in DX right now, because I would take Trips and X-Pac over those two guys.
So philosophically, minus, let's say, a television title, how often should a championship be defended? If it's like intercontinental tag titles, how often should they be defended?
At least every 30 days.
At least twice a month, I'd say.
Twice a month?
Because if you should do it on the pay-per-view, they should be defended on a pay-per-view, and they need to be defended sometime in between to showcase the talent, or to help build the feud against whoever where they're wrestling next. So let's say like New Age Outlaws are going to be wrestling Headbangers for the titles. They should have a match against LOD preemptively to help bolster them as why they're awesome and why they're the champs, and give people a reason to believe in the Headbangers, whether or not they can beat them or not. But right now, all they're doing, they're just props right now. This is the problem with modern day WWE. This is a problem with one of the big problems with the Attitude Era of the constantly fucking trading the belt around. That's why I can't stand the hardcore division. When that thing comes around, the tag teams that do it are great, but the individual, the hardcore title, couldn't stand it. It's just trash, especially the 24-hour rule. It's just filler.
Well, I used to love the Intercontinental title and the U.S. Heavyweight title until they started giving it away to just anybody. Mm-hmm. Which actually starts like right around 99. They start giving it to D'Lo Brown, who, I mean, D'Lo Brown's great, but he's not Intercontinental title worthy in my opinion.
No, I think it's a little too prestigious. And I love the TV title because you would see that be defended so well. That champ was a champion's champion. Like, he had to defend that belt. I remember being able to tune into like Saturday night and at least knowing I was going to get some kind of title match.
Yeah, TV, like whether it was like who was it? Lord Steven Regal would defend it all the time. He abused that 10-minute rule all the time. He never beat anybody. It was always a time limit.
Oh my god. Oh, those days. Are Saturday nights on Peacock?
They should be.
Some of them are, I think, yeah.
You know what sucks? Not all the WWF superstars are on there. Because I was like, you know what? I want to take a nostalgia tour. I want to look at all the superstars leading up to WrestleMania 6 with Hulk Hogan. Like, I want to be invested in that. And there was
what about Wrestling Challenge?
Nothing. Like, well, they had superstars from 1994 to 1996. They have all those episodes. And even then, I remember when the first time we got a VCR with cable hooked up to our TV, and I recorded an episode of Superstars. And it was the episode where Mr. Perfect was qualifying for the 1993 King of the Ring, and he faced Doink. And I say that, I remember that with such clarity because I watched that match maybe 50 to 100 times. Because it was just wrestling that I was trying to digest. Holy shit. His name is Dick Togo.
Yeah.
Michinoku.
Oh, yes, he's still the light heavyweight champion, guys. Remember that belt?
Wait, did he say Taka Michinoku?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What's crazy is that light heavyweight title lasts until 2001, I think.
I can't believe, like, okay, it was a good idea.
Yeah, it does last a while.
It was a good idea to get Taka, but you cannot build a division around one wrestler. You need a stable of characters to help build the division, and WCW's Cruiserweight division is second to none.
Well, they had fucking everybody, dude. Like it was literally Taka Michinoku versus Brian Christopher Lawler. Oof. And WCW has Ultimo Dragon, Jericho, Benoit, Malenko, X-Pac, La Parka, Psychosis. I mean, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio.
My boy, best luchador entrance in WCW bar none. He'd come out with the little dance, the knee wiggle, and then he would play the fucking chair like a guitar.
Yeah.
What a gimmick.
I mean, you can even argue that for as good as the Cruiserweight division was in WCW, it was still just filler.
It was.
But I mean,
it was
the
great
thing
filler.
was, you
I
wanted
mean, you're right
wrestling.
though. It was great filler, and those guys made it. Like Guerrero and Mysterio and Malenko and Jericho really made the belt feel important.
Let me ask you guys this: since we've been doing this, we're on in the 30s now of episodes. How many great matches on Raw can you remember and name right now?
Honestly, I can't remember one great match on Raw.
I think I remember one, and that's Owen versus Shawn.
Yeah.
It was very, and then Owen versus Triple H. They had a rematch too. That was another
I
good
can,
match.
like I said, around this time, I was channel switching between Nitro and Raw, and if Nitro had Malenko versus Rey Mysterio, and this show had Road Dogg versus Godfather, I was watching Malenko and Mysterio.
Oh, you were a big Malenko mark. I remember you loved
Yeah.
Dean Malenko. And Dean Malenko, God, that guy could fucking work.
Yeah, he could.
Well, it's like Brett said, right? Like, it was good filler, but the thing was, they were getting themselves over so much that they had to start doing, like, this week on Nitro is the first week of the Benoit Booker T TV title Best of 7 series.
Oh, what a good series. I remember those matches were all great. And, you know, like I was saying before when I was complaining that, man, I never see the NW guys wrestle. But, hey, at least when you watch Nitro, you got some wrestling, and then you got some character and story development.
Yeah.
That's why I would actually be interested in doing a Nitro show like this one, just because I know at least I'll be entertained with the matches, right? I'll be like, oh, let's go back and see all those Hurricane Ranas. And
So it's funny you mentioned that, because I was going to say, once we finish the Attitude Era, since our name does go kind of off of the dudes with attitude, that we do the entire Nitro era of WCW.
I would love to do that.
Ooh, that's a tall order.
I know there's going to be a lot of rough stuff that we'd have to get through.
Well, the last
when does it go to
2 years,
3 hours? When does it go to 3 hours?
97 or 98. Yeah, they're long shows. Yeah.
Because
I mean, think about it right now. Is we're going to get to SmackDown starting in '99.
right.
It's going to take us a few years to get through all this Attitude Era stuff. Once they get to SmackDown, it's a lot.
I mean, I honestly, yeah. I mean, if we're consistent where you do this, let's go all the way. Because I mean, I love Hulk's NWO promos, like every one of them. Where he just talks shit on himself. It's fucking gold.
I would say we should start with the Nitro that Hall shows up at, because the Nitros before it were dog shit.
No, that's Attitude Era level Nitros. I would say that qualifies.
And those Nitros were actually only 1 hour, I think, the first year.
The first year they were pretty quick, yeah.
Look at that sign. Where's the head?
He's getting kind of over.
Wow, Undertaker's ready to go.
I remember them hyping up their SummerSlam match so much. And I probably mentioned this before, I've never been more disinterested in a main event. So much so that we didn't bother to order SummerSlam 98.
Well, I think didn't we go visit someone that month? Like didn't we? Every time there was a SummerSlam, we'd go to our Aunt Mary's. Remember?
I still think there was a 4 count here. Ah,
what's it called? Oh, fucking Venus. I hope we don't see him again.
I bet you he's next.
Did he come?
Did he come?
Oh,
Is that the Taco Bell?
That is the Taco Bell. Oh, they're playing the Top Gun bells.
Oh.
If he doesn't show up, I'll just take care of everything from here. How the hell are we gonna go look for him? Can you fly? I can't fly. Can you fly? Oh, gee. I can't see him from my elevation.
He looks like a jackass wearing that belt all by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna handle. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Well, we gotta do something. How can we look for him? He's up there, and we're down here. Well, we gotta charter one of these damn planes, Rockabilly. Okay.
Rockabilly.
Easy. Okay. I apologize.
You could. I'm pretty sure.
What are
that
they
was,
talking about here?
I don't know. It's stupid, but.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
It's
Mark
It's
Romero.
Hey!
That's right. He got the contract where she has to obey him. Look at this pop he's getting. I feel bad. Mark said it wasn't his favorite time in his career doing this stuff.
It was?
It wasn't.
It wasn't? What was his?
No, his favorite time was as in WCW as Johnny B. Bad. He said,
wow.
I got to work great matches with some of the greatest, biggest people I respected. Like, he worked with Pillman, Austin, Dallas, like a who's who of wrestlers like I worked with. And he was a standing television champion for months.
I like Johnny B. Bad because he had the gun thingy. That's what I liked when I was like 7, 8 years
Oh,
old.
what the fuck? Hey,
The gun
do
thing.
him elegantly, man. The bad blasters that would shoot confetti and shit.
Mm.
And I remember, like, man, this guy must be tough because he beats people with punches. Because, like, he had that fucking punch.
I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Al Snow, he was doing like a seminar on wrestling, and he said he was talking about the wrestling punch, and he said every time you throw a punch in wrestling, you're exposing the business, and he goes that's why some of the best workers had a punch as a finisher, because it's like, okay, if someone on the street punches somebody else on the street, they're probably gonna draw blood, knock some teeth out, maybe knock them out, and here you're sitting there throwing 10 punches and nothing's happening to the dude's face.
Like, as a kid, the way I rationalized it as a kid, like, I see movies and stuff, people get punched. He's like, no, these wrestlers are so tough. They can take these punches to the face and not get bloody and draw and all that stuff. So I was like, that's why. That's how I kept kayfabe as a kid. Because you see those kicks and stuff like that, those kicks look legit. Like,
Well, when I was a younger kid, I didn't know that punches hurt that bad. So because of wrestling, they made me feel like, oh, punches to the face aren't that bad. I see them punch each other all day.
You know who really opened my eyes about the open fist rule? It was Arn. No, it was Arn Anderson, because he used to, as a heel, he would complain to the refs that if a wrestler's fist was closed, because he's like, oh, and the announcers, oh, that's right, no closed fists in wrestling, so you had to punch with an open fist, and they owned up to the kayfabe. Like, they said, yeah, it has to, so you can't do as much damage with an open fist, but you have to keep it open. I was like, oh shit.
And they used to always talk about that, like, oh, his fist, he need the closed fist.
Right, exactly, the closed fist.
I know you guys may not be the biggest fans of like old school Ring of Honor just because the production wasn't very good, but they used to have a title called the Pure Championship.
Still do.
Oh, they still do?
Yeah, Katsumori is the Pure Champion right now.
Do they still have the same pure rules?
It's same pure rules. No closed fists, only open hand slaps. Get 3 rope breaks per match. 20-minute count out outside the ring. And it's I think it's a 30-minute time limit. You only get 3 rope breaks. After your 3rd rope break is used, you get no more rope breaks.
Yeah, it was really awesome because it kind of brought a little bit of realism to it, because the first like big match I saw was Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness, and not throwing punches in a match changes how the match flows. And it's actually really good. You kind of like get spoiled, like, fuck, man, they're just punching each other. Like, come on, do some moves here. And you have to know a lot of moves in order to not throw as many punches.
Literally, it's no punches. So
yeah, no punches. Yeah,
no punches. Like, it's just open hand slaps.
You know, I take that versus fucking. What the no?
No,
oh, that's terrible.
The deconstruction of Mark Marrow.
My jabroni of the show is Sable, because she's a jabroni.
She not know
My
her
jabroni
place.
of the show are all these fans that dare boo the greatness that is Mark Marrow. This fucking Farouk's song is weird.
Whatever happened to Stand By Your Man?
That's right.
Well, technically, her man is Brock Lesnar, so.
Shut up! You want to play games? You want to play games with me? I got a little game for you, Sable. This Sunday at Over the Edge, how about this game? You go out and find any WWF superstar that can beat me without.
Oh shit,
your
she's gonna pick
help.
Undertaker.
And I'll tear up this contract, and you're free to do whatever you please. Sable, here I am, right over here, babe.
Look at this.
Hey,
Fucking second biggest
however,
story on the show.
big however, because this will happen. When I win, you have to leave the World Wrestling Federation forever. Whoa! You better choose
Man, the
this
heat this guy
Forever.
would generate.
We got a deal this Sunday.
I will see you this Sunday, Mark.
Well, we've got apparently a new match to the Over the Edge pay-per-view this Sunday.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but I like surprises.
Years, Pat Patterson has been a model WWF citizen. However, Pat
What the
was
hell?
always on
Why
top.
are they doing
In
a
fact,
Pat
he
Patterson
left home in
promo?
Montreal at age 17 with stars in his eyes. Although Pat achieved success early on with tag team partner Ray Stevens, his life forever changed when he finally made it to the WWF in 1979. Yes, the Blonde Bomber quickly ascended to the top by becoming the WWF's first Intercontinental Champion. And after retiring in 1984,
Because that belt didn't originally start as the Intercontinental Championship. It was called something else.
It was called the North American Heavyweight Title or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And I brought the apples myself, and they were fresh, and they were really big and strong and hard, and he just squashed those apples like nothing.
now a loyal, trusted official here in the WWF, Pat's career pinnacle with his induction into the World Wrestling Federation Hall of Fame. This respected and honorable man will no doubt be privileged to ring announce the championship match at Over the Edge.
Why? That's a weird promo, but
Remember, I think last week they did one for Briscoe.
right.
This is Triple H. Right now, I'm hunched over. I'm in the cockpit, and I
Got to be
Ah!
I'm flying over WCW's event, and I'm sending a message to the WCW.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, so
Here's
lame.
another one for you. And get a load of this one. Where's the afterburner on this stupid thing?
Triple H versus The Rock tonight.
Dizzy. Oh, where's the bark bag? That's better. Now, I'll
Oh my god.
That is fucking lame.
That is. How did these guys get over? It was Suck It. It had to be Suck It. It's the only reason people.
And
like
Suck
this
It was
guy.
big, dude.
They
It was
said so.
huge.
I mean, it's still big. People still do it.
People still do the crotch chop, dude.
Mission accomplished.
So much stock footage.
Yeah.
The following
A non-title match.
What? Who the fuck would agree to that? I'll wrestle you in a non-title match.
You know, that's a weird thing. What's the kayfabe of booking like that? Like, the guys can't just put together a match. They have to. It has to there has to be somebody back. There has to be in kayfabe somebody who sanctions the match, right? Because there's remember the unsanctioned match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Despite the unsanctioned, they still had pyros and entry cues.
Or the unnamed WCW Championship Committee.
Yeah.
Viagra.
What the hell?
Well, The Rock feels like this, seeing as he has absolutely no need for Viagra. He says he can't comment on it.
Well, JR, can you OD on Viagra? How would I know?
Eh.
But one thing The Rock can comment on and will,
We are watching
Farouk,
one of the
we've got
greatest
Rock's
careers
side
in
for some
wrestling
time.
right now,
The Rock
blossom.
guarantees you
It's The
and
Rock. It
millions
is
and
like
millions of The
integral,
Rock's
like as
fans,
he
is that
grows.
he'll enter that pay-per-view the Intercontinental Champ, and he'll leave.
Yeah, The Rock, he did a really good promo about the Iron Sheik's death on his Twitter. He talked about how the Sheik said, when I first got there, Sheik goes, hey, when you go in, you keep your mouth shut, and you'll know who is the good guy and who is a jabroni.
The absolute worst, and that's old Triple H.
You know, they pushed this whole feud during the summer, these guys.
Yeah. Because it culminates at SummerSlam.
And you say a whole bunch of funny things, and your main intention is just to entertain all these pieces of trailer park trash.
I remember The Rock talking about this. Like everybody had like one catchphrase. His goal was to have one catchphrase a night, and that's why he came up with so many different little sayings.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking. I'll tell you what, old Triple H, The Rock is standing right dead smack in the middle of the ring. He's got something nice, hard, waiting for you, and it's called the Rock Bottom. So Triple H, go ahead and bring it.
That matchup is next. Don't go away.
Are you ready?
Oh man, I was hoping we'd forgo the
seizure.
The seizure entrance here. This is torture. That's what this is. I'm being punished for some reason.
Yeah, they did not age well.
Nope.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the 80s, I remember the 80s fondly now. But the 90s, I don't know if I'm going to remember, at least not the late 90s, as fondly as the early 90s.
I think some things transition very well and others don't. Like, look at the Austin stuff that's going on right now. Having a great laugh, good time. Timeless. This fucking trash over here, like, is garbage. It's the silliest. And you know what? I was never a fan of Face DX because to me, they were the ones that screwed over LOD, so I could never be a fan of theirs. And I never liked the New Age Outlaws. And I will say this: I loved the 1-2-3 Kid during the New Gen era, so cool seeing X-Pac, but he never fucking wrestled. So all that was left is Triple H, and Triple H had the whiny, bitchy voice that he has. And I don't know how the hell he got over until he did enough roids that his throat muscles tensed up and it got real hoarse and coarse. You can't tell me Triple H right now and Triple H back here wasn't on the juice.
This is why it's non-title, because they're both champions at this point.
Oh, that's right, the European fucking title that never gets defended either.
The one thing that Triple H said that made me convinced that he was on steroids was when he was on Off the Record with Michael Landsberg, and he says, well, I don't think steroids should be banned from wrestling because steroids isn't cheating in wrestling because it's not a real sport.
I agree with him, but
I agree.
But the only thing I'm okay with that logic, but what steroids does to you as your physical body, the anger and like how they take a toll on their body, I don't agree with. It should be like, I feel like if someone takes, like, let's say Triple H wants to take steroids and something happens to him, he cannot blame anybody else but himself for like whatever happens to him because of the steroids. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be like, oh, my body I wrestled too many matches or whatever. No, you fuck it, because it fucks your bones up. Steroids does. It makes your bones like weaker and it causes more breaks and damage. Like,
your joints too, and your muscle tendons.
Hogan was on the juice for God knows how long. Look how many surgeries that fucker's had.
Well, he's had a lot of back surgeries because of that damn leg drop.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if I knew that was going to happen to me, brother, I would have picked a different move. I would have used the Axe Bomber, brother.
He said that he would have done the sleeper if he could do it all over again. Because he's like, if I have the biggest arms in the world, why am I not doing the sleeper?
That's a good point, but the sleeper is such a lame finisher.
To be fair, the leg drop was pretty iconic.
I love the leg drop. My favorite rendition of the sleeper has to be Brutus Beefcake. Because after he did it to you, he would cut your hair, so it made sense. Like, that was the cool gimmick. Like, he put you to sleep, now you're fucked. You can't do anything.
Dude, his theme music was like classic 80s theme music. I loved it, dude. I still listen to it to this day.
The Rock. There's a promo that happens before their SummerSlam match. I think Triple H gets very upset with him because he feels like he got buried.
Yeah.
He told He told Rock to just go, just say whatever you want, and the Rock goes, "Oh, you should have said that."
Yeah,
That's what I don't get. If somebody tells you go do whatever you want, and then you do it, and you go, "Oh, you bastard! How dare you!" Like, you told me to do it. Like, I got mad at Hogan when he got mad at Shawn for the shit he was saying as the Larry King or whatever. Like, Hogan, you told him to do it. Like, you can't be mad at him.
Hey, he wanted a true heel face dynamic.
I still love that match. I still love that I was there watching it live, and it was a fantastic moment for me. One of my best wrestling moments of my life. It's very hard.
Is the cut with the Benny Hill music for the match?
Huh?
You ever see that where like all they show is Sean's overselling of everything to the Benny Hill?
I've never seen that. Now I gotta go seek that out. I will say when he got the boot and he got up and rolled around before he fell down, I was like, "Fuck yeah, you take that, bitch." Coolest moment of that show though was when everybody, all the Hulk marks, started singing "Real American" during his entrance.
Yeah, and then we all started laughing like one line in because we realized what we were doing.
But one of the coolest things was the anti-Cena thing we built up where we were cheering for Jericho, and it was fucking point. You can tell all the older kids like fucking Jericho. They're like, "Let's go Cena, let's go Jericho." It was so bad that even the commentators had to acknowledge it. They were like, "There's 50, there's a bunch of half of us Jerichoholics and half of them are the Thug Crew or whatever."
And was that like the first event where they really started that dueling Cena shit?
Dude, I'm telling you, me and my brother are responsible for the anti-Cena stuff, and we're responsible for boo every time someone punches. I'm convinced that we are responsible. We're looking at wrestling royalty here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the first, because SummerSlam was the first time it happened when Cena was getting booed for it, and no one else did it. I remember my Cena sign got fucking confiscated after John looked at it and read it.
Yeah, that bastard. And the fucking guard comes and takes my sign, and he just goes, "I need that sign," and just jacks it from me before I even have a chance to react. I'm like, "You piece of shit."
I wish we took a picture with it because that was such a good sign.
Yeah. What can you do, man? What can you do?
That was the smarkiest sign we came up with. I can't see Cena wrestle because he sucks.
Yeah, that was the best we could do.
And I remember he climbed up on that rope and he was trying to look over. He looked right at us. And
he saw the sign.
And everybody looked like, "Dude, he saw your sign." Like, yeah, he saw the sign. And then 2 seconds later, fucking security takes it. We can't have anti-Cena, yeah.
Take that sign away. Where's that referee? He was trying to fuck on me.
that or the ECW One Night Stand 06. It's a very beloved show. And going to the show, that's the real treat of the show, being the fourth person in that ring.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that I think Gabe Sapolsky said, that the ECW fans understood that they were the third man in the ring or the fourth man in the ring, that they were part of the show, and they had to do their due diligence to make sure the show looked good. Like, hey, if we're dead, the show's going to suck. We need to be involved any way we can.
I honestly think COVID has really, really disenfranchised me from today's product, because trying to watch those, I try to watch bits and pieces, including WrestleMania, without the crowd there. Oh my god, it looked like the dumbest thing ever, and I was like, how would I ever watch this? Like, I remember watching Braun Strowman's match against Goldberg. There was no sense of drama, no weight to it, and it was just dead silent.
You know, I have not watched any of the matches that were not in front of a crowd, even in the Thunderdome. Here's my question. The wrestlers talk to each other during the matches. How the fuck were they able to do that without crowd noise?
I mean, there are no mics nearby, so they don't. So only rarely do the handheld guys turn on their external mics. It's like it's for some kind of bit that's going on. Like, remember when the NWO? Here's something I miss. NWO used to look at the camera and talk shit to the camera after their matches, after they win and stuff like that. Like Hogan, I am God. And they would have to turn their mics on temporarily to catch that sound. Otherwise, they wouldn't catch it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you know, I like the Thunderdome concept, except for the one time I actually turned in to watch it, and there was a guy in a fucking Klan hood.
Oh, yeah.
Like, third row.
Yeah.
I wonder, how did you get selected to be part of the Thunderdome?
You had to sign up. You had to be available during the times of the shows.
I think you had to be watching during the time, and then they would look at you and go, okay, let's turn his camera on and put him in there.
Oh, so you didn't know if you were part of it or not?
Yeah, like you would get, well, one, they would select a bunch of people. They would send you a link beforehand, and you'd have to go and watch it on your computer through the link. And yeah, and then they would just randomly select you or whatnot.
Oh, DQ, fucking, count out. Nah. Like,
it's a good way to save it, you know.
There's no way it's gonna have a clean finish.
No.
Did you try to get on to the Thunderdome, Brett?
I thought about it, but I realized because of my work, because you had to be on like an hour or so before the shows. Well, they're all 5 o'clock East Coast, or you know, 5. So you'd have to be on at 4, and I was like, well, I work until 5. So I was like,
why'd you have to be on an hour before?
It was part of the vetting process, I think.
Oh, I see.
And also, I didn't want to. If I was gonna watch wrestling, it's like I'd just rather watch it on TV than through my laptop or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably was not a very. Did you see him bounce up?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, no fucking kidding. Oh, what was that on the centimeter?
It was probably a solid 6, 7.
Jesus. I thought it was like, in my head I was thinking, what if this jabroni tries to get him a fucking dominator on this steel? Who would take that move? And I saw him pull him like, oh shit, he's not gonna do it. Oh! Nobody takes a pile driver like Rob Van Dam, though. That motherfucker goes into orbit.
I will say, ever since I watched the Young Rock shows, I have a better appreciation for the Rock selling now than I used to.
Yeah, I used to not think Rock as a good wrestler, like looking like when I was a kid. I just thought he was a good talker, and I didn't appreciate his style of athleticism. And then as I've rewatched stuff, I realized that he was actually a really good worker, a really good athlete, a really good storyteller.
Yeah, because I was in the same boat. I did not like The Rock. And it wasn't until he came back and, you know, I went back and I was like, oh, you know, he's not as bad as I used to think he was. But yeah, he was my version of John Cena during the... I hated The Rock.
Really?
Always rooted against him. Always rooted against him.
I hated The Rock until Austin hurt his neck. And that's why I started liking The Rock, because Austin's gone, so I had to root for somebody.
I was a Rocky fan right after King of the Ring. Like, I enjoyed The Rock. Because I liked his matches against Shamrock because they were really good matches. They would work so well together. I was like, man, Rock. The great thing about The Rock is he can talk the game and he can kind of back it up, and that's rare for a heel. Usually you have like your heel archetypes, like your chicken shit heel, your unstoppable monsters, your super braggart heels or whatever, stuff like that. And he wasn't a chicken shit heel, like in the traditional sense. Like, he was a very strong in the ring, and he held his own, and like it adds to the drama, I think, like when you're watching a match and the face is trying to get the cover on him and the heel keeps kicking out after these big moves. You're like, shit, this heel's not going down. Somebody has to stop him. Like, can this guy do it or whatever? And I remember being so frustrated when Shamrock never beat him clean at all until fucking months later after their feud kind of petered out. God, you imagine how spoiled people in the Attitude Era were getting Undertaker entrances on Raw instead of like
Yeah.
fucking pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Do you guys like the slow raise of the lights, or do you like it when he would shock the lights up?
Slow.
I like the shocking of the lights up.
I think to me it depends on his opponent. If he really wants to like assert his dominance to a guy, like says I'm about to blow you up, I like the shock value thing. If it's like, to me, when he does the slow raise, he goes, it's him telling like, you are so beneath me that I'm going to take my time doing this. Not only am I going to take my time raising the lights, I'm going to pick you apart in that ring.
That's right, he is the boss. When are you going to understand it? Maybe we need to put it in Oklahoma terms. He's the tall hog at the trough, if you know what I'm talking about, JR. You better wise up.
How much time we got left in this show? Oh my, we have
That went by fast.
We have 5
4
minutes left. You know, I'm noticing a pattern with WWE. They would book these big main events and then never deliver because it'd be 5 or 10 minutes left on the show.
Probably do it on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Mr. McMahon may have to have his smile surgically removed after this match. Yes, you're great.
I wonder if Vince is able to get like a shower at least to get that beer smell off his body. Oh shit! Look at Vince's face. He's so like, he was so happy for a moment, and he's like, oh shit.
Let him do whatever he's going to do to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get out of his face, Undertaker. Wait a minute. This is for the fans. Hey, what's he doing, JR?
Oh!
Undertaker with a giant hand right around the neck of
Oh my! So much for that match.
And he was driven down into the depths of hell by the man from the dark side. Come on, JR, let's go help him.
Let's go help him.
Let's go help him.
Oh my god, look at this. They dubbed over this commentary. Did you guys not see it? Their lips were not fucking moving. Look at them. Their lips aren't moving.
Yeah, they're right. They've done that a lot too.
What's going on?
Where's
If
Austin?
it was a taped show, you know, they could always do the audio later.
So, oh my god, so they just sat here and watched this fucking thing and not said a damn word. Because, like, there's a moment during Over the Edge that I'm waiting for. Like, that JR gets so heated on. I can't wait for it.
Yes. It's one of my favorite JR moments.
Oh, those plastic chairs. Oh my god, run. Those chairs suck.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine sitting on those for fucking 2 hours.
Well, some of those plastic chairs, the way they were designed, are actually pretty comfortable.
You know what a fucking sell job they did? Because Austin was in his wrestling gear and they showed it backstage. Like, oh, we're gonna get a match. Oh,
and there's Austin.
Oh, we're not gonna end this night on a sour note. Yeah, I will say that belt. I mean, it's not the Winged Eagle belt, but it's kind of growing on me. Oh shit!
Well, that belt actually has winged eagles too. It just looks a little bit different.
That's why it's called the Big Eagle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll look better once they get the
Look at
black
them.
strap on it too.
They're just watching it. Oh, that's the moment right there. Look at that face. Look at that face.
Everyone's getting their money's worth right now.
Oh my god. I know he doesn't, does he? Oh!
much needed distraction. Well, they entertained us, at least at the main event, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need to entertain me. And the thing is, it's not like this is a culmination of a story. It's building up to the pay-per-view. And for me, like I mentioned right at the start of the show, is this enough to sell me on the pay-per-view? Absolutely. I want to see this fucking show now, because now you're like, he's pissed off all three people in the ring with him. He's got the odds stacked against him. Can he? How is Austin going to overcome this? That's what my question as a kid. I was like, I want to know. And I want and I will pay $20 for the answer to that question.
I think these ones were $30 at the time.
Oh, maybe, yeah. The original In Your Houses were 15.
They were 15 or 19.
And then they moved to 20, and then they moved up. Oof, wow, what a show. Hype train going to Over the Edge, guys. What do you got? A 1 out of 10.
Hype train for the Over the Edge. I'm probably like an 8 or a 9. Like I want to see what. I mean, I know what happens, but I definitely want to see Over the Edge now. Like I kind of like I want that payoff now.
I don't know if I'm quite 8, 9. I'd probably say make a solid 7. Like, I'm really intrigued by what we know, like the main event. But that undercard, like Louis said, like what is the undercard? Like it's. And you are buying this pay-per-view specifically for the main event.
And yeah,
I would buy it for the main event because, like you said, you want to see what happens.
Well, this is typical WWE Attitude Era up until I think late '99. Once we get SmackDown going and once we get the tag team division built up, we get some solid mid-card action going here, almost to the point where some of it's even. I remember going into X7, and I cared about a couple more matches more than the main event because they were so intriguing with the story. Like I was very invested in it. But now it's just like, well, Austin's the star, he's the draw. They revolve the show around him. If we go segment wise, maybe 30 full minutes of the entire show is dedicated to Stone Cold Steve Austin, whatever he was doing. So when you spend 30% plus of your show on one guy, that's typically where you're going to build your brand around. Realistically, when we look at Attitude Era's mid-card later on, all those guys are future WWE champions. That's how good they were. Currently in WWE's mid-card, how many future WWE champions are there?
I mean, they'll probably make them champions, but they won't be very good champions.
Yeah,
right
like, now it's like Rock and Triple H. That's it.
Well, see, the entire 1998 year is plagued by shitty undercards and like really, really good main events. And WCW is the opposite. They've got amazing undercards and really crappy main events. I think Mick Foley talked about it, but the one thing that the pay-per-views do is that they're episodic. They're like every month they start to intrigue you. It's no longer a quarterly cycle with Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. They've got you hooked on Over the Edge 98. And then they're going to hook you on King of the Ring. And then they're going to hook you on Fully Loaded and SummerSlam. And so they're doing a really good job they don't do this anymore. They don't base the entire show around one guy, but they kind of have to. So I have to kind of agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very like intrigued watching this, kind of reliving the moments and thinking back to when I was a kid. And I remember being such an Austin mark at the time and I think I was a big fan of Austin, LOD, and Shamrock, and those are the only like people I backed at the time. And I always wanted to see them on TV, and I want to watch whatever they're doing. But Austin was number one. I was an Austin fan. I became a huge Austin fan in '96 when he started doing those promos against Bret Hart. That's when I was like, because I was a huge Bret Hart fan. I'm like, oh wait, this guy, listen to this guy, what a dick, but he's hilarious. And if you make me laugh, I'm going to be a fan of yours. And I think that's what turned us on Mero. Because I wasn't a Mero fan back in the day. I didn't care less about Mark Mero. I was like, whatever, he's this, lower mid-card hell guy. But what a fucking turnaround, reliving that moment and seeing the effort and actually stuff he did in the product. I'm hoping for more moments like what did I miss? What did I love back in the day that maybe wasn't as great? And what did I dislike that was a fucking rare jewel that no one, like a crown jewel that no one else is seeing? Because Mero on the stick is probably top 5 in the company right now, bar none.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, because he blew me away with how good he is on the mic. Even now, pulling his promo, like compared to Sable, it's fucking garbage tier. But what could have been Mark versus? Because I bet if you watch Johnny B. Bad and Stunning Steve Austin have a match, what a fucking match that was. I watched that match once, and they go to town. And Mario says one of his favorite matches of all time was wrestling against Austin, and because they were such good workers together. And we could have had that here. Fucking Mick Foley wasn't a cut, but I digress. Either way, I'm excited for the show. It's coming up next time, guys. Hopefully not too long of a hiatus. Any final thoughts before we go into Over the Edge, guys?
No, just stay tuned, and I'm really enjoying these pay-per-views, and that's what's keeping me going on the show right now on the Raws. The Raws aren't bad, but the pay-per-views are what I'm looking forward to. So the next show is going to be even better.
The Raws have been great because we remember the days where we were like, when is this over? When is this over? And now we're like, that's already gone. Like we went through the whole show. Like, so it's getting better. Pay-per-views are going to get better. Everything is just going to get better, and it's just going to be really, really must-see TV from here on out.
It may be one of the better go-home shows that we've seen, so I'm very excited for that. And you know, the Raws always have special moments and things like that we miss. And I totally forgot about the McMahon getting arrested bit. So when it came up, I was so excited to see that. Like, other stuff that happens, like I know it happens, I just don't remember when and where. And I was like, does Taker and Austin wrestle here? And like we were hyped up for a big match. So who wouldn't be? If your channel starts like, oh yeah, Taker's gonna fight Austin, let's watch it. And then all this schmoz happens. Like Angelo said, he didn't feel cheated. He was entertained. I was entertained. I didn't feel cheated. There was no stakes against Taker versus Austin. It was just a ruse for McMahon to piss off Austin and get under his skin. And Taker saw through that because that's the kind of character he is, and he fucking didn't have any of it. Storyline wise, it works for me. Entertainment wise, it works for me. Give me more of that shit. Except for on a pay per view, you gotta culminate stuff on a pay per view because give me acts 1 and 2 during Raw. I want Act 3 at the pay per view, and I want the epilogue the night after on Raw. That's how all my stories booked.
Like I don't need to see every match be like a 5-star, technical catch as catch can wrestling match, but just I like to see good promos, and I like to see good storylines being developed, and you're starting to see that. Like we didn't need Austin and Taker to wrestle tonight. They didn't have to, but you got to see them both, and everyone's happy that they saw them. So this is a great way to reduce ring time to not get their bones broken or muscles torn.
No, sometimes they just want to see Austin drink a beer, give somebody a stunner, flip somebody off. You don't need to have Austin work. Why? Same thing like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan didn't need to fucking do insuguris or suplexes or shit like that.
Well, they had Austin wrestle at WrestleMania the other year. I'm like, why? He doesn't need to wrestle. Just go out there, slam a beer in somebody's face, give him a stunner, and it's the same effect. You get the same effect.
Well, I'm hyped, guys. All right. So that'll do it for our show this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all sticking with us and joining us on this journey. For the Dudes with Attitude podcast, saying goodbye for Magnificent Brett Evers.
Pal you later.
Supreme Submission Machine, Angelo.
I catch you up in the heavens, make you humble.
I am the good Dr. Legend. So long, gang. We will catch you next time.